The news, what we got. Let's see, what were we just talking about? A little thing, and it'd be almost near impossible to find. But you just need to go online to TikTok or your Facebook Reels or whatever. And there is a guy that's made this video. It's like the Muppets version of a scene from Phantom. And I shared it with you guys, and we all had a good laugh about it. And I talked to him, and he said that he was going to do the whole movie. The name of his TikTok account is Baby Maker, Babimaker.
What are you watching?
That's my porn name.
But yeah, it was him or his twin, and they look just like Muppets, and they
Gene's
had like
brother was an only
Gene's
child.
brother was an only child, and the rendering in it for it to be AI is really good. So I'm excited about that. That's not really news. That's just something that's out there.
It was him, or his twin. Gene's brother was an only child.
Easy, Catman. They are serious.
And they've got guns.
The biggest news, I would say, we were just talking a few days ago. It's like, what the hell are we going to talk about?
We got nothing.
There's nothing. Kennedy Center honors. Trump announced that KISS, the original four members, are going to be honored. And that's really cool. And the sucky thing that I've seen, and I've actually seen some other KISS people in the community talk about it, is it's stupid that KISS fans are letting politics divide us over something like this. We all should be happy as hell that our band is receiving such a high honor. No matter what side of the political line you're on, no matter if you like Trump or if you've got TDS or if you don't or whatever, this is huge. It's probably, to me, it is as huge as maybe even bigger than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for KISS. Because this is not just something that any band gets honored and on. And apparently, although I've heard that they're not going to perform, they're supposed to be something special. I don't know. But what do you guys think about that? That was not on my bingo card. It
I
really
love
was not.
Gene's response, his statement he issued. It was something about KISS embodies the American dream. This is, basically the American dream is to get this honor. I thought that was very cool.
Yeah.
I will say this as far as people that make it political, and please don't bring it into the comments because I'm not going to respond to it as the main runner of Critical KISS on YouTube, because no matter which side of it you're on, this has nothing to do with politics. This is an honor to commemorate a lifetime achievement in American culture, and that is KISS's the biggest selling American band of all time as far as gold records go. We've been hearing that for the last 30 years. I've seen several comments about, people's parents being immigrants and they shouldn't accept this and all that. And it's like, yeah, but they also came to this country as immigrants to chase the American dream. And that's exactly what Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley did, for that matter. I think it's a tremendous honor. As far as I've always been a fan of the Kennedy Center honors. I'd mentioned in our group chat, I could see Garth Brooks doing it, even though I don't think he is that way political. But I think certain things like this big of an honor, and especially if you're a fan of the band, you kind of can set your political views aside and honor your heroes. And also George Strait is part of the honors this year, who I'm also a fan of. Sylvester Stallone, Gloria Gaynor, and I believe there's one other person. I can't think of it right now. But yeah, overall, like you guys said, it could be a bigger honor than Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because not everybody gets it. And now Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it isn't even just rock and roll, it's everything. So with this, it is everything, but it's embodying the American culture and dream. And I think only one TV show has ever got it, and a Broadway play has got it. But other than that, it's been mostly artists and a few bands. Like I know Led Zeppelin got it, and that famous clip of Ann and Nancy Wilson from Heart doing Stairway to Heaven that everybody's seen a gajillion times was amazing. But to put them in that class is pretty cool. And as KISS fans, we should embrace it no matter what you believe politically.
Oh,
For sure.
I'll leave it at that.
One thing that I think it's cool, and it's probably a side effect of all of the debates and that's been going on in people's comment sections, and people who maybe have either rock channels or might have some Kiss semi-focused channels, like when I'm talking like YouTube, Instagram, things like that, is I've noticed that just on my feed, like I've not watched a whole bunch of stuff on anything about the Kennedy honors or whatever. I've not watched a whole lot about it. But I don't know about you guys or anybody else watching this, but my feed has just blown up with like Kiss related content. People doing covers on guitars, people just playing Kiss songs and being like Kiss song of the day and just singing along to it. And it's blew up kind of like on my TikTok, my Twitter, and my Facebook. I mean, they're kind of all in the background through AI tied together. So if you blow up on one, it's going to blow up on the other. But it's just, and I've not really been on YouTube a whole lot. YouTube's kind of like my deeper dive thing. It's not really my casual. I'm just going to open YouTube, and I open YouTube when I'm like going to sit down and like watch one of you guys' videos or watch something that's a little more substantial. But just flipping through something that's at 30 seconds to a minute long, it's usually I'm on either Instagram watching a reel or on Facebook watching a reel or on TikTok. But mine is just blown up, and it's cool because I've actually started, and now I'm perpetuating it because I'm finding these people like, crap, where's this person been all this time? Give them a follow, go in and heart a couple videos, comment on a couple things to kind of boost getting them onto my feed so I see less of the BS that's on my feed, replacing it with some positive stuff on my feed. Is that a retro Taco Bell cup?
Yeah.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Last summer they released every decade.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wished I would have got one of those cups, but I remember that. So speaking of another thing on news, it's Kiss related news, is speaking of social media, I've noticed that everybody's known that, Nick Simmons and Evan Stanley's been working together, and they have their own TikTok, Stanley Simmons, and they've been working on these projects, mostly acoustic projects, and they've been working on this album. And then Evan kind of got his, I don't know if he had it before, but he's got his on TikTok, and now Nick has his on TikTok, and he's only put out like 3 or 4 videos at the time of this recording. And he actually said in his very first video, okay, Evan bugged me until I made this channel. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm going to do. But he has like a really cool version of a Chris Cornell song. And he has an awesome voice. If you haven't not looked up his TikTok or his social media, you need to go check him out. Because I didn't realize Nick had the voice that he has. I know what kind of voice Evan had just from seeing him with his solo projects and with his projects before. But Nick has a great voice. So, but yeah, so if you are on the, social media stuff, go check out that kind of stuff from those guys. What else is in the news?
What else is in the news? And speaking of Evan, he had Paul on a video, and they did Wouldn't You Like to Know Me?
Wouldn't you like to know me? Yep.
Which was cool.
I wish they would have showed more.
I know.
Yeah, right?
I wanted the whole song.
Yeah. That was really good too.
Little
just to see
prick
him.
tease.
The Ben Cooper figures.
Oh,
Ben Cooper figures, yes.
Yeah.
so
That-
I got to ask you guys this: Why is it Ben Cooper? Because those are Collegeville costumes.
Maybe Ben Cooper bought them out.
Okay,
Maybe.
that struck me when I saw the logo one day. I was like,
Yeah, because it was college, like in the 70s, it was Collegeville, Ben Cooper, and Don Post.
mhm.
Those were the big Halloween costume
So
companies.
is Ben Cooper, school me, is Ben Cooper like a Halloween costume maker?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Ben Cooper made the Star Wars line.
Yeah, those old school ones.
Yeah.
And then Collegeville did Kiss, and then like Don Post did like the rubber mask,
Yeah,
Mhm.
like the Captain Kirk that turned into the Michael Myers mask.
and
I got
one.
Don Post did a mask, the White Wolf mask that they wear in Phantom.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Don
Right.
Post mask.
Tie it all together.
The more you know.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that Ben Cooper is turned into more of a style now, maybe. Just
Yeah,
say,
because
like,
NECA's put out a lot of the costume figures.
like the Halloween 3 ones and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So
Do you guys know if we'll be able to remove the mask?
I don't know. That's a good
I don't
question.
know.
Because
I
they
never,
put
I
that
haven't
on
got
those Halloween ones they did.
Never got them.
I didn't get them either. I saw them in Walmart, but I didn't pick them up.
Thought about it.
I thought they were really cool, but I feel like the Kiss ones I kind of have to get. Probably. I would
There's a-
definitely, if you really want them, I would definitely order them online. If you're kind of like, if I see them, I'll get them. Just check Walmart and Target.
Yeah, because they're retail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. None of that limited edition bullshit, right?
No, because I
Bull-
know like my Walmart right now even has like the Wolfman costume and Frankenstein and Dracula and stuff like that.
You remember the Kiss figures that came out in the big box that was like $60 at Walmart like 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
I've got one back here, way above me back here. But you know what I'm talking about? Looked like the Dynasty type ones.
Yeah, but it
I
was
saw
weird.
one-
Like the
I-
colors were off.
Yeah, I saw one of those in my Walmart like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, what is this still doing here?
Mine still has it too, and I've been waiting on it to go on clearance, and I was going to snag it, but I didn't want to pay 60-70 bucks for it.
Yeah.
Because I think they're in the Destroyer costumes, but they're colored like, and then
Yeah,
they
it might
have,
be
like,
Destroyer.
the
Yeah.
extra stuff. But it's supposed to be Dynasty.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I'm not even opened mine up. It's still sealed, like everything.
I can't imagine you not opening anything.
No, never. See, guy.
I live a depressing, sad little life, don't I, Rick? I don't open anything. I did open this though. I did open this.
We were going to talk about Kiss Museum. The
Mhm.
relaunch is in full swing now. I
Yeah,
know
and-
that
and Xander's
Rick
had
has
some
been
really
in the
cool
DMs
stuff.
sending us stuff. Every time something new comes up, he's like, "Look at this."
Hot in the Shade tour book's on there now.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Xander's
I can't
had
go
some
down to
really
tour
cool
book
stuff
rep.
on there. And the solo album posters went up and Rick said that it was like bought within like, what'd you say? Picture disc style time or something like that.
Ace was gone
Yeah,
faster
Ace.
than a picture disc.
Yeah, Ace was going faster than a picture
My
disc.
goodness. He had those on there for $80 a piece.
Yeah.
I paid far more for
Oh shit!
any of these.
And some Mylar stuff.
He had an entire set of Mylars. He's doing God's work.
Yeah, the prices are not. I just hope that some butt wipe out there isn't buying them and then knowing they got a good deal and buying them and then turning around and trying to resell them at the
Yeah.
ridiculous eBay prices.
Yeah, I hope it's fans buying it.
Yeah.
The trash
Yeah.
can's gone.
Yeah. I took a really good look at that trash can, and that trash can was just a little too far gone than what I wanted to even spend $250 for. I could handle it being beat up a little bit and maybe not perfectly round, maybe a dent here or there, whatever. But what I was really looking at, even I wouldn't care if the bottom was rusted out of one of them. What I was really looking at was the picture, and it had some scratches, and some of the scratches was just in like really bad places. Like there was a real bad scratch on Paul's face, and it's a shame because it's actually the style it was. There's two different kinds. There's actually three. There's one that the Kiss banner, the Kiss logo is kind of gray behind it rather than black. And then there's another one where the seam is, it cuts Peter's shoulder like off a little bit. And then there's another version where Peter's shoulder, the seam is like to the right of his shoulder. So you actually have his whole shoulder, and those are slightly bigger, more round. And from what I understand, the one that's cut where the cut right is right on his shoulder is like one of the more rare ones. But I looked at it and I really considered it. But I was just like the ones but now, like I said, in the defense of that also, I've seen ones just as bad on eBay for $400. So
Yeah, and like where a kid's peed in it, you can tell.
yeah, it's all rusted. Yeah.
They used it as a diaper can.
I just figured that one of these days, be one of those people I was looking at, and this is kind of off topic of news, but I saw a guy, he posted on his Instagram or maybe even on his TikTok that he had picked up an Ace Frehley solo album for $20, and he was showing what was inside of it. It had the merch, it had the poster, it had it had the dust cover, and then he had a picture where it was flipped over of the back, and the freaking letters on the back of it were in purple. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Like, you got a variant, you don't even know it.
Man, should have made an offer.
So long story short, the trash can, and this is no knock on Xander, but this trash can that we were all looking at was beat up worse than something that was shipped from Universal, namely a picture disc.
But like I said, still,
Dig in there.
it was still a fair price. And like I said, I've not seen anything remotely on eBay for any type of condition for around $200 to $250
Yeah.
when it comes to a KISS trash can. So it was a good price, comparable
Yeah.
to what is selling on eBay for $400 to $450. I just didn't want to commit to it.
I just realized I thought we were gonna see an eBay price crash, but with this Kennedy Center honors, it's just gonna go up a little more.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna start selling their collection because Kiss is in the news. Not me. I'm holding on to my shit. If I was gonna sell them, I would have sold it last month.
I was going to say, if I ever decide to sell my stuff, I'll get rid of everything except for my belt buckle, and I'll sell it to Xander.
There you go.
Let him put him on the museum.
I wonder if
that's
the
a good way to think about it.
I wonder if the scratches on the faces of the trash can were some kid trying to scrape the makeup off, like I probably would have.
Yeah.
That's like I used to do that to wrestling action figures, like to Kane and stuff, or Rey Mysterio or something. Try to
I
scrape
did
their
that
mask
to
off.
my first set of dolls. I scraped the paint.
My
I actually ended up cutting it off with an X-Acto knife.
my friend Brett and I did that to his Gene doll when I was in the 2nd grade with a butter knife.
You can use fingernail polish remover. It comes off a lot faster. I think I did that to one of my dolls. I can't remember which one, but I did it to one of my dolls. It's funny how we've defaced stuff, because I've talked about this in the past before. But somewhere, if it's not in a landfill somewhere by now, somewhere there's a Gene Simmons solo album with a big Cherokee, North Carolina bumper sticker right here, because I didn't like all these names of everybody that was on his album. I didn't like all them being there, so I went to Cherokee when I was like 9 years old or whatever, and so I stuck a bumper sticker across the bottom of the album there.
That's
And
hilarious.
So
I don't
if
need
it
all
is-
those words.
If anyone finds that on eBay, you have to buy it. And give it to them.
Yeah, right.
If anybody finds it on eBay with a Cherokee sticker on the back, send it to me.
It's in Cherokee's trophy cabinet.
All that stuff is somewhere, you know.
Mhm.
You would think, right? I mean,
Somebody's got it somewhere. It's in a thrift store or something, used record store.
basement. Wow.
In a basement, attic,
Some kid in Idaho is having a podcast right now, and he's like, I need to get a mint version of this because there's a fucking sticker on the back.
there's a Cherokee.
Right. Fair enough, right?
Some loser put a Cherokee sticker on the back of this Gene album. I'm like Rick. Every time I see somebody's name, especially like I've got stuff that's got like names like Chris Odom and all kinds of other names on it, I always wonder, where are those people now? If they're still alive, where are they? Are they still KISS fans or whatever?
I find
I've
it hard to
Googled-
believe with a name like Chris Odom, somebody hasn't seen your video and found this guy.
I've went and you have letter columns in magazines, old Fangoria magazines, and if I see someone from Chicago or Illinois, I've Googled them before. A
Yeah.
couple of one turns out to be a DJ. I didn't even know, and he's actually pretty popular. But he had a show that didn't start till midnight, so I never saw it. But yeah, so it's, you never know. Couple are dead, but
Yeah.
like, hey, that guy's still like around. Is that crazy? You want to edit
No.
that out?
I've done shit like that before too.
Like, let's just see. I'm not gonna contact them or nothing. I'm like, hey, he's
Yeah.
still
Well,
alive.
Rick's gone on rabbit holes like that before, like
Oh,
trying
God,
to track people down and
I
stuff.
had a KISS Army membership form that had the kid's address on it, and I Googled his house. I wanted to find out. I wanted to see the house that was delivered to.
That was the
Yeah.
one over by me. Because I was
Uh-huh.
like, I'm like 45 minutes from that guy. Which
I would
is
do
wild.
the same. I'd do the same with Google Maps and Street Maps and all that stuff we had now. If I had something that had an actual address on it, I'd Google it too. I'd Google
Yeah.
it to be,
It's one thing to Google; it's another thing to show up. Like,
that. Yeah, that's
what a
different.
pizza! Hey,
Yeah.
still like Kiss?
Pizza, beer, and kiss
Hey,
her.
hey, you guys want to talk about Kiss? We're on the way out. My daughter has a ballet recital. Oh, can I ride with? We'll listen to some Kiss.
Oh,
in the car.
The Gene solo album.
Me and my wife went to lunch the other day, and there was a guy sitting there. He had a KISS shirt on from the 2012 tour, and I
Uh-oh.
kept looking at him, and I was like, April's like, "What are you looking at?" because her back was to him. We was in a
Were you
booth
looking
and
at him like this?
No, I was just kind of that's how you look right there. I kept kind of just looking over him. She's like, "Who are you looking at?" I'm like, "There's a dude over there. It's got a Kiss shirt on." And I had to walk by him to go to the buffet because the place we were eating was kind of like a buffet. So as I was walking past him, I looked down and I did the line, Rick. I looked down and went, "Hey man, like your shirt." And he looked at me. He said, and his face just beamed. And he's like, "Thanks, man. You like Kiss?" And I went, and I stopped and I'm like, "Do I like Kiss?" And I talked to him for a few minutes and then it was funny because I went and got my food and I came back and April said, my wife, she's like, "Just couldn't resist, could you?" And I'm like, and so while I'm sitting there eating, I noticed that the guy now he was like looking over at me. It's like that connection had been made. It's like you wanted to talk more, but you're in a restaurant like 20 feet away from each other. So yeah, it's just really cool.
Did you ever see that Louis C.K. bit where he's talking about like the other day I saw a dude he had the same shirt I had on, so I was like, cool. He's like going, same shirt, same, and the guy's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Yeah." The guy's, "What the fuck do you want?" He's like, the shirt. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I forgot I didn't wear the same shirt that day."
I'm like, I told April, like, "Man, I wish I had my Kiss shirt on." But she's like, "Honey, you're at work." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but
Underneath,
But think
like
about how
Superman.
cool it would be if I did have a Kiss shirt on.
Yeah,
and,
it would
and
be cool.
We had that.
I got behind a truck the other day that had like a really nice Kiss logo sticker on the back window. And I'm just, April's, my wife's in the car with me, and she's just like, "You want to follow them, don't you?" I'm like, "To wherever they're going."
When we were in New York, we went to that church that they had all the 9/11 funerals at. And like, it's just like a constant like tourist attraction. Everyone's going inside that church. And, everyone's respectful and quiet inside the church, but there's tons of Kiss fans in there. And so everyone's just like,
Don't say love gun in here.
Don't pull the trigger if you love gun in here. It's a church.
All right.